Hello, everybody. Welcome to Thursday. It is Friday Eve, as we like to call it. I'm Sybil Wilkes, and welcome to What You Need to Know. As always, on Thursdays, we are so lucky. We are truly, truly lucky and blessed to have the one and only George Wallace join us on the show. And so, with that, we say, "Hey, George Wallace, how you doing?"
Dr. George Wallace, I feel
Excuse
so
me.
good.
Excuse me.
It's your Friday. It's our Friday. We get to have fun the rest of the week. And tonight we get to just talk about anything we want to talk about. And we're going to have some fun because there's so much to talk about.
Yes, there is.
I never will forget this day. It's September 3rd, and this is the day my daddy died.
George.
They wrote it. This shit is true. I'm making up.
So are you saying you wrote the song?
No, they wrote a song about it. My dad was kind of popular. My dad got around.
Your dad was, and so that's what they called him, was the Rolling Stone.
Papa was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat, that was
his home. And when did he die?
All he left us. Now, here's something that I never understood. Sometimes you don't really know the lyrics to songs.
Yes.
I thought all he left us was a loan. LOAN, to pay for the house.
So did I.
Did you really?
I absolutely did. I was like, well, because that made sense. I mean, he left us alone, but he left us alone that we had to pay back.
That's right. That's right. There's several things I used to think like they had at the White House. I thought they were having a steak dinner. What are you laughing at, Yogi? Steak dinner, and I never figured out this because I didn't know. When you're young, what's a steak dinner?
And a steak dinner was big.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, a steak dinner is a big deal. Well, not for kids so much anymore, but a steak dinner is a big deal. Yeah.
And then some other lyrics. I thought George Benson was singing "Give Me the Night." Listen.
Did you ever work with George Benson?
Yes, I did.
Did you?
We went to his home in Pittsburgh. I am the luckiest person in the world. So, but when I started, I did the Tonight Show on a Thursday. And the next night, on Friday night, I was with Natalie Cole in front of 17,000 people at the University of Southern Illinois. Is that Champaign, Illinois, something like that?
U of I is Champaign.
Yeah, well, wherever it was.
Southern Illinois is Carbondale.
Okay, that's close enough. It was in the state of Illinois, but
you didn't need to know all that. I get it.
Let me tell you how blessed I was to work with Natalie Cole and all of those songs, and
Mr. Melody.
It was really something, and all of those songs and just working with these. I don't know what. I am so blessed, and I left Natalie Cole and I went with George Benson.
Oh, cool! Wow.
Boom, 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 and he had something. What was his big hit? Just, oh my God, he was just "Give Me the Night," huh? Give me the night.
Well, that was one of them, but gosh, now I'm blanking on George Benson. Cool Breeze or Breezin'. Breezin' was a big one. Oh shoot, the one I really loved, and it was done by somebody else.
It wasn't under a bridge or anything like that. I used to know them all, but I've worked with
him. I did too, George. Yeah, and I'm a big George Benson fan, and now I'm just blanking on him.
And guess who I went to after I left George Benson? I went with George Benson. I went with Queen of Disco.
Gloria Gaynor?
No, Queen.
Donna Summer.
I was with
well, because Gloria Gaynor. Okay.
Gloria Gaynor, what was that? Not Go Walk Out the Door. No, not Go. What was Gloria Gaynor's hit?
I Will Survive.
I Will Survive. Yeah, Go Walk Out the Door. I Will Survive. Yeah.
Walk out the door.
Yo, Go Walk
Don't
out the door.
look around now.
Yeah. And then I went with Diana Ross for 3.5 years.
So what was that like, George? I mean, of all of the people, I could ask you what it was like with all of them, obviously. But
you name it. Diana Ross was awesome.
What was it? Yeah, what was that like with Diana Ross? You said for 2 years?
3.5 years.
3, wow.
And she was called the boss at the time.
Uh-huh.
You had to call Miss Ross. You had to call her Miss Ross.
Oh.
I never had any problem with her, but she was so big at the time. She was so big, all of those hits. And she would always have that song. It was during the disco era. So her song would always be, I'm coming out. And when they wrote
Right.
the
I'm
songs,
coming.
but she didn't know it was about no. When they
About
wrote the
coming
song,
out.
when they wrote the song for her, they didn't tell her that that's what that meant, and she
Uh-huh.
never knew the real lyrics. She just thought she was
That's funny.
coming
That's
out.
funny. Coming
Yeah.
out.
In any case, they found out about it because they said that song will never hit the charts. And then, but they did it.
Oh, that's
That's one
funny.
of the songs. And then Upside Down, Boy, You're Turning Me.
Upside down, you're
And
turning me.
and every night she would come out after I do my act for 25 or 30 minutes. Do you know I would go out in that audience and watch your opening, and I would
Wow. Every night.
every night when Diana Ross came out, she'd come out with those. At the time, it was a big deal. $30,000 dresses.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just
So that was like Bob Mackie wardrobe and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
That lady named
Yeah.
Elizabeth something. Yeah, and
Yeah.
but she was come out, and then it was just wonderful. And every night I would watch her whole show, and she was just like the place
Wow.
was crazy. Sold out crowds every night, everywhere we went, and she used to sing "Reach out and touch."
Touch
That's why I got my
somebody.
somebody's hand. You be reaching out, touching people nasty ass.
Can't sing that song these days, huh?
No, you can't do that. And then the mountain song, "Ain't No Mountain High
Mountain
Enough."
high enough. Yeah.
Every night the piano, the sound was so good, and so the music was so good, and she was just like amazing when she walked up that stage and walked out into the audience with that smile, and she had a special perfume. It was, and I got it, and it was called something of Paris, and I got it, and it was like $400 an ounce way back then, '79, and they put it on. It was more of an oil. And then I worked after Diana Ross. I went with Tom Jones for 5 years. So, well, first of all, let's go back to Diana Ross. She took me to Caesar's Palace.
That's for the first time?
For the first time. That was 1979. And my ultimate goal was to work Las Vegas. I never thought about television, movies, or anything. I didn't know anything about television or movies. I just wanted to work Las Vegas because I heard some of the guys were opening for Elvis Presley, and the guys like Jackie Green and Hockey Puck, Don
Rickles.
Sybil, I heard they were making $250,000, $400,000 a year. So I said, "That's enough for me. That's
right.
That's all I want to do was just work. If I could make half that much at the time, Las Vegas." So my ultimate goal was to get to Las Vegas, and
Miss Ross made that happen.
She took me there, and my name was up on the marquee, and I was scared as hell because she didn't allow that.
Oh.
She did not allow that.
Somebody else put your name up there.
Caesar's Palace did.
Oh, wow. Did you get in trouble?
Yeah. But it was just me. Sometimes worrying about the situation is worse than the situation itself.
Right.
So it was up there, but the next time I came back, it wasn't up there because how many people you bringing into the room? But let me tell you, we were sold out every night. We did 2 shows. We did 2 shows a night. That was back in the day when entertainment was like king. You could not get in the showroom without a jacket.
Right. Yeah.
Plus, they had a dinner show. I don't know how they served 1,300 people in 30 minutes, and the show started. But that was my job. Was the dinner.
You were the entertainment during the dinner crowd. Yeah.
Wow.
And
I walked out one night and I said, "Okay, I've worked Las Vegas. I'm going to go back to advertising in New York City." And
shut up.
Then I thought, well, not because my ultimate goal was to be a comedian. But I was making, a lot of money in advertising in New York before that. But I always wanted to be a comedian in Las Vegas. And I left down. I was working for Donna Ross, and I got a call from Tom Jones. And they said, "Would you work for us?" And I said, "Hell no." I'm working with Donna Ross every night, 17,000, 18,000 people, And so at the end of Diana Ross's run, around June or something like that, they said, "Would you come with us now?" I said, "Okay, I'll do it." And it was a lot of money back then, Sybil. I was making a lot of money. And I knew Tom Jones, but I didn't know Tom Jones.
No, Tom Jones, yeah.
I knew Tom Jones. I had seen him on TV back in the day. He was going crazy with his big crouch. Is that what you call a crouch? In the case, crotch. And I said, okay, I'll go with Tom Jones.
So George, did the ladies start practicing by throwing their panties up on stage for you before Tom Jones came on?
Let me tell you something. All of that happened. It just took place. The greatest thing ever. That's why I was with him for 5.5 years.
Yeah, you grabbed a lot of panties then.
Let me tell you something. They were throwing panties on stage, but what happened was I would go out there. The first night, I didn't know Tom Jones was Tom Jones. So, shit, 17,000 people, just like last week with Diana Ross.
Right.
Everywhere we went, we did. Tom Jones worked harder than anybody. 1 month, we did 31 shows in a month. Every night we were on the plane. We'd get off the stage and get on the plane and go to another city.
Wow.
And I just didn't know, damn, he's an international superstar, just like Ross. And the ladies would come, and they told me, this is Mr. Wallace. Now, this is a Tom Jones show. Now, every night, the same ladies come. So, surprise, it's the first 500 seats down front are empty. Because they'll come see you one time, and that's it. Do you know those ladies were there for every night? Every night they were there for me. And that's when they start throwing their panties up on stage. Eat your heart out, Tom. We would have fun. And then somebody asked me, did Tom Jones, is it true what he had in his, he had socks on there? I said, yeah. You got a couple pair of shoes in there too. But I would work with him, and we became so friendly. And then I was an opening act, and they partied every night. You know about the partying and everybody.
I've heard, yeah.
And champagne flowing everywhere. And I partied, but I wasn't, and that's
a partier.
I got a telephone call, and I mean we've been working, and I got it was fun to hear him say, "Get your black ass up here." We have become that friendly.
That's the kind of friendship you had.
It had become so cool that every night he wanted everybody in his suite.
So George, was it ever talked about? Because I remember as a kid, they always said they called him the Dark Welshman, and so a lot of people assumed that he had some black in him. And was that ever a conversation you had with him?
Well, no, but we always thought that because when he first started singing, everybody thought he was black. I mean, he took the black ladies loved him too.
Yeah.
And he sold out. He had shows at
Oh, my grandmother loved her some Tom Jones. Oh my God.
He was just like, this guy, and you know what? He's 80 years old and he can still sing today. Sybil, if you see him, it's amazing. I used to open for him in Las Vegas, and guess what? In the last few years when I'm in Las Vegas, he came to my show and he worked on
me. Wow.
And then everybody I used to work for, Aretha Franklin, they all came to my show on my stage. But Tom Jones was perhaps one of the greatest people I ever worked for.
Wow, that's real. George, what did you learn from him? What was the most important takeaway from a guy like Tom Jones?
Showmanship from everybody. That also was like, when she hit the stage, it was just like, there's nothing like that. And but Tom Jones, he performed every night and he would sing. And of course, they would sing the same songs.
Yeah.
Every night, but he would do he worked. He was one of those guys. He was a white James Brown. He worked. He was wet every night when he got on that stage. I learned that. I learned to honor your essence, show people you love what you do. And that's what he did. He went out there every night, and he really made me a good comedian because most opening acts have to do 20 minutes. He made me do 45.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He made me do 45. And then
so you really worked on your craft and your jokes and all of that. Yeah.
Sure. One time I was working with Diana Ross. Now, here's the difference. I was working with Diana Ross. She fired me one night.
Why, George?
Big superstars like that, even us today, me, Jay, you seen us on stage? I didn't mean big superstars.
Yes, you said what you said.
Headliners, when another act is on the stage, the clock is approaching zero, we want you off. No matter what. No matter what. You can be killing. And we want you to kill, but it's time
to go. Yeah.
Time for my clock, and we out there. So Diana Ross at Caesar's Palace and all over America back in the day in the 70s or 80s, that was disco era.
Sure.
Her audience was 50% gay.
Right.
and gay audiences and black audiences, if they love you, they're going to show you some appreciation. So guess what? I was getting standing ovations every night. That standing ovation took another minute,
off the
off the clock. And she was ready to go. And one night, I didn't know what happened. They said, "You gone." And then I was with Smokey Robinson. And he said, "She didn't burn your ass yet." And 2 weeks later, I was back. And everything, because she used to love my joke about, I had a tattoo on my tallywhacker that said, okay. She used to love me. I used to close with it. Let's get naked in here. The lady said, "Take your clothes off, George." This is no. All I got down here is a tattoo that says okay. But when I get excited, it says Oklahoma City. 73106. That's my zipper code. That's my zipper code. So we started adding up, and she loved that joke. And then, oh man, it was really nice working for Diana Ross and her assistant. Her assistant and I, we were very close.
Oh, George, what great memories! What great. Let me just say this: George Benson's songs "Masquerade."
That's big.
Yeah, and the one I was trying to think of was "Everything Must Change." I loved that. Absolutely, one of my absolute favorites. Still,
at that time we were in the summer, like spring-like, and we were in the outdoor arenas. You know what do you call amphitheaters?
Yeah.
That was awesome to do amphitheater. Some of them, and with the candles, sometimes, and people in the open air, just wonderful. And one night I split my pants one night, and you didn't see my jump. But you can see my underwear. I was doing some kind of move, trying to dance, you know. Just rap, I'm going along with the joke, but those are great days with George Benson and Diana Ross. And one night Diana Ross was on stage. When she's on stage, her personal assistant and I would go back to the house. She said, "George, we got to go to the grocery store. You want anything?" I said, "No, I'm doing fine." She said, "Do you want anything?" I said, "No, I'm fine." She says, "Just on Miss Ross's account, do you want it?"
And then it was time for that steak dinner. You used to hear about it.
So it was a lot of fun working for these superstars, you know. And Paul Anka had a gold microphone.
Yeah, I heard that.
Paul Anka had a gold microphone. Nobody used that microphone but him. And the guy said, "You're using his microphone."
Oh.
I said, "Well, that's the one that's out there."
George, what happened?
He never said a word. He was the nicest man in the world.
Wow. Paul Anka's probably still one of the richest people in the world, huh? For the songs.
Just for the Tonight Show thing.
Just for the Tonight Show theme alone.
He wrote something.
Having My Baby is the only one I can remember, and Diana, but
Diana.
But the Tonight Show theme was the one that, and I don't even know if they still play that on the Tonight Show.
But you do know. That's one song that used to come on TV that you knew it was time for the Tonight Show.
Yeah, that's it.
On Thursday night, you knew it was time for laughter because there was going to be a comedian on Thursday night, and that's what I don't like about some of the new shows, especially comedians. I think if I had a show, I would have to have comedians on and spotlight comedians because that's who we are.
Right.
If I had a show, I would love to have a show. People you need to know. There's a lot of comedians out there. People don't know how good they are. You know, America doesn't really know how funny and good Jay is. It's a lot of comedians out there. Even Lunel. All of our people that work with us, Sherry. It's a lot of people you need to know and spotlight these people.
Yeah.
I think it'd be just great.
I think that would be a great show for you. You could do comedians you need to know, and I'll do news you need to know. And how about that?
Well, we can start next Thursday.
You got it. Okay.
So many great entertainers, some of these young entertainers people don't know.
Speaking of young entertainers, did you see Jay's show last night? Did you see Assisted Living?
Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Where was I last night? How did I miss that show as much as they promoted it? I didn't get to see it.
So one of his co-stars is Naeem Lynn. He's one of the Plastic Cup Boys with Kevin Hart.
Yes.
Those kind of guys, and it was really quite good. I had to give it to Jay. He was quite good, and it's gonna build with the Man's coming on in a few weeks. So I recommend it. It was a lot of fun to watch.
I
I
knew
hope
it
that
was
people
going to be
did.
good when I saw
Yeah.
the promo when Mr. Brown came in wearing something, and Jay just went,
Yeah, yeah. And
because I know
I,
how to humor, you know.
and speaking of rich people, I'm thinking now he's in your stratosphere. We congratulated Tyler Perry for being named as being put on one of the billionaire lists by Forbes. So now you and Tyler, are right there.
You're doing jokes.
That wasn't a joke, son. I really believe that you are one of the best kept secrets in the Billionaire Boys Club. I really believe
Well,
that.
bless your heart, but you're just too nice. Thank you.
So George,
Let me sell some nuts.
now you're gonna sell the man's nuts?
There's something about these nuts. I've been eating out of the same can for 3 weeks. They keep multiplying. These nuts are doing something in there. They keep multiplying. But yeah, Tyler Perry, I got to give him props for what he's done, and the studio in Atlanta, and I'm sure that show was good last night.
Yeah, it was. It's called Assisted Living. It's on Wednesday nights, and it comes on after the House of Pain. George, your tweet of the week, and I've looked up some others, and it's very interesting that you had that I want to make note. But this is your tweet of the week. There are two types of Trump supporters: billionaires and idiots. Check your bank account and see which one you are.
You segued into that very good from billionaire to billionaire. Yeah, right. Trump supporters, billionaires and idiots. Check your bank account. See, most are idiots, right? And
that's right.
As far as these tax cuts, the rich people got the tax cuts. And every time he speaks of the stock market is not necessarily
That's the other thing you said this week. That's not the economy.
People are not working. He said they added 9 million jobs. Well, there's 22 million not working.
Right.
And it's just like now, and every day this guy says something stupid, and it doesn't stop.
So this week, today, the Bidens, Joe and Dr. Jill, went to Kenosha. 2 days ago, when Donald Trump was there, he went and met with all the law enforcement types and the business types and what have you. He did not go to visit the Blake family. He did not even mention the name of Jacob Blake, right?
He's not a good man. He is not good, man. He's not a good man. He's claiming the powers of racism. He's just making, and not even mention the guy's name.
Right.
And the 17-year-old guy with the gun.
Yeah, and supporting him and all of his supporters. Yeah, the self-avowed vigilante.
Exactly.
And this kid, and it just still boggles the mind that his mother gave him the gun and drove him across state lines to do this, and now he has.
I wish my mama was alive. My mama will vote both of their asses.
Okay.
She drove him there, Sybil.
Yeah, she drove him.
She needs to go to jail also.
Yeah, she does.
Because he's 17, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So she's enabling him to commit the crime.
Exactly. That's exactly right, George.
Will they bring that up?
I hope so. I really hope so. This is you don't hear much about it, but definitely there's some enabling there. So that is the story of Kenosha. The Bidens were there today. They spoke with the Blake family. They prayed with them. That's the real difference between the law and order president and.
Well, let me tell you something about this bullshit of number 45. He's good. He's a good BSer. He will go in there and lie. You hear the lies? I'm putting clips together now. My new clips coming to you. Tweets will be Donald Trump every time he makes I'm going to have George Benson going, lies. Or Two Dog Night. Liar, liar. This guy is good at what he does. And he's selling his fear. And these white people, are buying it.
Yeah.
They're scared. They really don't know what's going to happen to their cities. And if you sell the program right, so we need Biden to go in there and say, this is not going to happen. Look at all the lies.
So that's the other thing, George. They announced, and we didn't do the story, but they did announce the lineup for the people that are going to be hosting the debates, right? And Joe Biden has asked that they have fact checkers on the stage with them as they are debating, because that's what they do now with Donald Trump. They delay his speeches, or they cut away and they come back after correcting some of the misstatements and lies that he makes. So yeah.
So I'm going to donate the button, liar.
Because George, the night of, that would be a great thing for you to do.
Oh my goodness, liar. Just tap that button, liar.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God, because this guy, he just flat out just lies about everything. And I've said it before, all bullshitters know each other. And he's better than me. He's better than Jay. He can outlie all of us. And and the people buy it. They don't say anything. But today, something happened in Washington where 11 senators did disagree with him on some law.
So George, he was encouraging his supporters, if you're going to mail in your ballot and you're not sure that it has gotten there to be counted yet, he's telling people, go on election day to the polling place and see if you can vote again, and that will give you an idea of whether your vote has come in and been counted. That's essentially what he was trying to say. What he's telling people is, vote twice in one election. And
this could be criminal activity. This could be criminal sin.
It's a federal law that you cannot vote twice in the same election. It's a federal law.
Can he go? He's breaking the law for saying it, right?
But by that, and so now people are, his people are, trying to walk that back, including, but not well enough, his head lawyer, the
Mr.
Attorney General Barr.
You know what he said tonight? Oh, we should have played that. We should have played that. Him saying that he really doesn't know the law.
He doesn't. He does not.
He's stupid because I don't think he's just a new Cohen. He's representing.
He's been looking for his Roy Cohn, and so he's found him.
Because he's representing Trump and not representing me. He's supposed to be representing America.
That's right.
It says Attorney General, but it's supposed to be American General.
Yeah. It is the Attorney General of the United States.
But he's one of those people, Sybil, that has that look on his face. Certain people. He talked about racism today, and he did police aggression was that bad. What was the real thing? He was talking about black people. Police brutality was that bad against black people.
Oh, right. There is not, and kind of getting close to what Donald Trump is saying is that most black people that more white people get shot by police than black people, and also calling into question, which is what a lot of them do, calling into question about the background of black people.
Exactly.
And so that is, and trying to cast aspersions on people like Jacob Blake. Well, he was wanted by police, and there was he had this in his past about domestic assault and what.
And the white people buy it. I'm sorry, some of these white people buy it that support as well. He's in trouble, and every time you bring up anything happened, they bring up, well, he did this. They did that about George Floyd too. Some people don't know some of the things that he said about George Floyd, but But these guys have the look on their face of racism. You can look at a guy like Mitch McConnell.
Mitch McConnell, oh my gosh, George.
I'm calling. Certain people you can just look at and go, Jeff Sessions down in Alabama.
Oh. Well, he learned. Jeff Sessions learned, didn't he?
Listen to me. This lady, if she could beat Mitch, what does Jay call him, bitch? Bitch McConnell?
Yes, McConnell, yes.
Jay, if this lady can beat him, what's her name?
Amy McGrath, I believe is.
McGrath, if you can beat him, that would be my birthday. That would be fantastic, and I hope she can do it.
The other one that I'm really looking forward to is, as you were just mentioning, Lindsey Graham getting beat by Jamie Harrison in South Carolina.
We had an opportunity to meet him and talk to him last week, and I tell you what,
Oh, nice.
yes, he and Jay Clyburn, we talked to both of them, and
Uh-huh.
different days. Oh, South Carolina, if you guys could do that for us, and I'm my bank account is kind of low now. I don't know. I gave some money to Jamie,
Uh-huh.
and I gave some money to Kamala Harris, and
Good.
I gave some money to another the lady out in Mississippi. So
Oh, okay. Okay.
the problem is if you give it to one of them,
Uh-huh.
they
Your,
must
na-
call. They must be connected in some
your
way.
name goes on a list.
I got emails. I'm getting a call. They tell me, we need this much by tonight.
Right, right, right.
So they got the amounts there. So I said, let me just start off with 25, because I know by the time election day comes, it's going to be up to, it's going to be just, because I'm going to keep giving, keep giving, keep giving, keep
Sure.
giving. And, but once you give,
That's it. There's no stopping. There's no stopping.
I'm even getting mail from Trump people.
Because your name is George Wallace.
I said segregation today, segregation
It's forever.
Yeah, so now, and what is happening in these last few days, this last few months, we're getting a little serious here. Not quite as funny, because I wake up every day, something is different. We're worried about our lives, and the virus is getting stronger. We don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. You worry about the virus. I'm worried about the economy. I'm worried about Black Lives Matter,
Mm-hmm.
and another Black person getting shot every day. I can't
Yeah.
handle it.
Yeah. It's overwhelming, George. It really is. And we try to come up with to serve people in the news and what have you. But some days it's harder than others. And what we talk about tomorrow is this young man who was killed in Rochester, New York, from Chicago, visiting his brother. He had some mental challenges. His mental health was very unstable while he
But
was visiting his brother on his way there, as well as while he was there. And this was 5 months ago. He was killed by police in much the same way that George Floyd was. Five
right,
months ago, this was before George Floyd. Um,
they kept it a secret.
and they did not reveal the video or the official filings of the papers of the investigation until
You
this
feel
week.
bad about it because we have a Black mayor and a Black police chief there.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
officers have not been charged yet.
but to this afternoon, Mayor Lovely
Lovely.
of Rochester, she has announced the suspension of the cops, and I believe it's like 6 or 7 of them who are going to be suspended, but with pay.
I
As
just want to tell you that that's not suspension, that's
It's
vacation.
not. That is
That's
vacation.
vacation. What the hell are they
Yeah,
talking about? We're going to
yeah,
suspend them with pay. That's some
yeah,
bullshit. I hate that when they do that.
yeah.
I can get suspended with pay.
But the sister attorney general for the state of New York, Letitia James, is on the case and she is investigating the case. So let us hope that some justice is brought to the Prude family. His name is Daniel Prude. His
Food.
name was Daniel Prude. And he was there visiting his brother. And family members came from Chicago
Don't you
to
think that is happening
stand with
every
him.
day? Don't you think police officers say,
George,
I'm going to move on?
there really are stories every day of black men and women being shot by police, and we could fill up the What You Need to Know newsletter with these stories, and it's difficult to stay abreast and to keep these stories, keep them straight, and to deliver the news the best way you can
And
without
white people
people
need to know that
flocking.
we want the police. We support the police. We need the police. We need the police as much as anybody else. We're not talking about just defunding, just taking everything away from the police officers. We just
Yeah.
think there's other ways that we can use the money to train. And like I said, the worst thing about police officers shooting, the targets are Black. So that's the first thing they shoot at.
Yeah, that's right.
The targets are
Um, and if they don't shoot at them, then they are strangling them to death. And that is what happened with George Floyd, of course, and most recently with George Floyd, and before that with Daniel Prude,
Black.
Eric Garner. You say the name.
The choke.
George, we are also in the What You Need to Know newsletter. This is interesting, and it's not something new knowing about the woman who founded Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, but the leadership of New York's affiliate Planned Parenthood announced they are removing the name of Margaret Sanger, and because of her avowed racism. They say the removal of her name from our building is both a necessary and overdue step. That is an understatement, long and overdue.
Take it off. Take all the names off. Take all of the statues down. They got to like the.
And that's akin to what they're doing, yeah, with Confederate soldiers and others. This is by taking her name off. This is what Planned Parenthood is doing. This is really very interesting because Planned Parenthood has more recently has presented itself as a place where women can go for their wellness checks and healthcare and things like that. But the placement of the Planned Parenthood are mostly in Black and Brown communities, and they are also, for the initial focus of Planned Parenthood was for abortions and yeah, and so killing off Black people, right?
And that's our problem. We have the health issues in our neighborhood, so that's where the ladies get the breast and what do you call it? You get tested for your
for where you get your mammograms.
Yeah, mammogram. I had
Yeah.
one. I had a mammogram. That's when Obama first came out with Obamacare. I got a mammogram. I got a hysterectomy. I was down there. It's going to be free. I got everything. I got a catheter. I bought a brand new catheter. I'm peeing right now as I'm sitting here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So those clinics work for the neighborhood. Bring them back. Stop taking our money away from the clinics. Did you grow up with clinics in your neighborhood?
Yes, George. Yes.
Like just a regular neighborhood clinic.
We had clinics in our neighborhood. Yes.
Okay.
On the south side of Chicago.
Yeah.
You lived in Chicago. We had clinics in Chicago.
No, I'm talking about. I lived in Atlanta, Georgia, just in your regular neighborhood.
Yeah.
A clinic like a school. We could just go and it was free. I'm not talking about these emergency places.
Oh no. I'm talking clinics. Yes.
That's good.
Let me tell you this though. Tuesday, more than 100 pro-lifers who are Black sent a letter to the National Planned Parenthood Federation of America asking its president to acknowledge and correct the abortion providers' unequal and disproportionate effects of abortion on African Americans. And even though Black women represent 36% of all abortions, even though they are constituting 13% of the female population.
I can't believe she's sitting here talking to me today about an abortion. I ain't never had no abortion. I don't know, but I know people need to learn and know what to do. The pro-lifers. I'm pro-choice, of course. I cannot tell a lady what to do with her body.
Well, thank you.
I just think it's just wrong. Just live and let live.
I think that it's really amazing, and it's always been such a dichotomy to me, in that Republicans who preach keeping the government out of your life, out of your all of your business. They want states' rights, and yet they want to tell women what to do with their bodies.
And yet they want the electric chair at the same time.
And the electric chair. So they want to tell you you can't do this with your body, but we can tell you what to do with this in killing you.
You mentioned the word preach, and that's where a lot of these Black preachers go along with the Republicans, just because of that one.
Yeah, because of the whole pro-choice decision.
They don't mention other sins.
And no, they don't.
They don't mention infidelity and anything like that. They don't mention all of that. But a sin is a sin. I don't even know what.
Thank you, Reverend.
I don't even know if that's a sin or not. And plus, it's an inside job. Don't get me into religion. That's an inside job because nobody can send you to heaven or hell. It's between you and the man upstairs.
Yeah. But what's really interesting is that Falwell Jr. guy and the trouble he's gotten into with his wife and the pool boy. How about that?
He was having a good time, wasn't he?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, they were just having some fun. And
Man, oh man.
the preacher took a photo with his.
That was really, and that's where it all started, George.
Yeah.
That's where it all started. And this picture of them on a boat with a woman who was not his wife, and they both had their pants unzipped, and he had what looked to be alcohol. He said it was dark water. Okay.
See, that's a lie right there. But
Okay.
it was dark water, yeah. Just free. It was water when they started. And these are Trump supporters. These are evangelicals.
Oh yeah.
Strong evangelicals. I don't know what Paula White is into now. These are strong evangelicals.
Oh no, she has front door access to the White House.
And the black people follow right behind them, don't they?
Yep. Oh, let me tell you this great story, because we don't talk about the good news enough. Know this name, George, and you may need her help when you go into the great state of New Jersey one day.
I know that's right. Oh my goodness, is this great or what? Good news? It's time to laugh now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fabiana Pierre-Louis has made history as the first Black woman on the New Jersey State Supreme Court.
Let's give her
a round of applause, please. Absolutely.
First Black woman on the Supreme Court, the highest court in the state of
New Jersey.
And I'll tell you what, that's why we get back to the word vote now. We're going to get back to voting, because voting is something very important. Like I said, right now, I'm having a problem with finding unregistered voters. Seems like everybody I know is registered, and I hope they go vote. But listen, you think you're happy today with Miss Pierre, you know what I'm pronouncing her last name?
Pierre-Louis.
We get the right people in office. We got a Black lady on the United States Supreme Court.
Yep.
Miss Loretta, what's her name?
Loretta Lynch.
Loretta Lynch. A lot more ladies out there. I don't give a damn.
George, this is what's really interesting, and this is a story I was looking at today. They are starting to give names to the Biden team as for suggestions regarding who they might put on the Supreme Court as the Black women who.
If it's Judge Hackett. I don't care if it's Judge.
But by the same token, Donald Trump is also putting together his list of who he would like to nominate for the Supreme Court. Well, we know where he is, but it's really interesting, the names that have been mentioned, and like your favorite, the former Attorney General Loretta Lynch and others. So it's going to be really interesting. But he is following through on his promise to nominate a Black woman.
He has no choice. We're going to be on Joe Biden's ass. It's not only Joe Biden, but it's the whole. We're going to be on the ass, and if we make the Senate, we got to get things done.
And that's the key, George. That's what I was going to say, because the key is when he nominates, he has to have a Supreme Court majority for his party in order to get these people passed into the Supreme Court, as well as all of these other federal judgeships.
That's why we need. That's
really important.
We got to get these senators in there. We got to vote. We got to get these. And I mean, let's do it. When we're going to stop, no bullshit, nothing. Washington, D.C. state, stamp it. We can do all of this now. Now we're talking about day one. Washington, D.C., stamp it, make it happen. Chokehold, gone. This first day, just sit there all day and just sign his ass.
How about the John Lewis Voting Act? How about that? How about the George Floyd Police Justice Act? You know, it's all of these things that really could take a hold if the Democrats are able to take back the Senate and to maintain their majority in the House of Representatives.
Yeah, but we have the numbers to do it too. All we got to do is just go vote. We have the numbers.
We're less than 9 weeks out, and a lot of work still has to be done. I know that the Divine Nine are working very hard to encourage folks and to get voter registration, and they have goals of getting more folks registered to vote. And of course, the Black sororities and fraternities are very excited and happy about the nomination of Kamala Harris as Joe Biden's running mate. So it's great.
Let me say this about Joe Biden. And do you think, I know Michelle Obama and I love her. She's so great. Y'all look alike. I'm sure everybody thinks your twin sister.
Yes.
She said, they go low, we go high.
Right.
But damn it, I'm ready to go low a little bit.
No, she said when they go lower, we got to go higher.
That's what she said. But I think she's right. But I want to go lower a little bit. I want to start fighting Donald Trump, and I want to, Trump likes to excuse people. I want to hear Joe Biden go, no, you excuse me. I want him to go back. I want him to fight with him a little bit. Don't let him bully you. Yeah, you got to be strong against bullies. I want to stand up and be strong. And so that's a lie. I want him to say things like, and talking about, I read the teleprompter. Well, read this. I want him to hit him with little things like that. I just don't like Trump, and I think we got to hit him hard.
So Myra J is listening and watching, rather, and she says that Donald Trump has every fool on his staff except for Mo, Larry, and Curly.
The three stooges.
Every stooge except for those three. Yeah,
that's because they're dead, and he's just bringing it. Myra J, what a wonderful show she does. Did I see her last night? When did I see Myra J?
Yeah. She comes on with us on Wednesdays with Stephen Hill, and bless her heart, she's walking around with a black shoe for her foot. She injured her foot a while ago, but she's a trooper.
She sent me a photo of her foot.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah.
It's the worst feet I've ever seen in my life.
No. Nice pedicure. I don't know where you're getting your pedicures during the quarantine, but good job, Myra. Yeah, George, we also have a business and finance section on the newsletter.
With the bank.
Yes, and the first Black-owned bank, and I guess they just took money out of your account and put it into these two banks. It's $1 billion in assets.
I'm glad you guys think I got a lot of money. I just I just let people go along with it too. I just let I say anything. If they think I got money, let them think it. Yeah, God bless.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but we got a first $1 billion bank right now.
Yep, a black bank, First Bank of D.C. and Washington, and the Los Angeles-based Broadway Federal Bank. They've been working on this deal for a while, for a year, and they will now focus on housing, small businesses, and nonprofits. And they're looking for a much-needed boost to the Black economy. And absolutely,
we're going to chip in, and we're going to go and put some money in these banks. So whatever, even these banks combined, being the first billion dollar bank. They don't have $2 billion yet, I don't think, just yet. But
no, but I think if we get your American accounts as well as your Swiss and other offshore accounts, we can probably get that $2 billion.
Well, I want to get $20 billion. If we start.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Well, then we got to get you back to work.
The bigger banks are like I think like almost 3 trillion or something like that.
Yeah.
JP Morgan. So these people have this bigger money, and they got the bigger accounts.
But here's the thing: they are putting their money where their consumers are, where their customers are, and by going and improving the Black economy, that means that they are going to be giving out loans to Black businesses that definitely need it. They are going to be giving money to people who are looking to invest in real estate.
Now listen, all you Black people out there. Now listen, let me do a commercial for the bank.
Okay.
We're gonna loan y'all this money. But damn it, bring the damn payment in on time. We need you to pay us back. We don't need to hear no bullshit about mine waiting for my cousin died at the funeral, and we waiting for our payment to come in. We need this is serious. This is serious. Some of these communities, like McDonald's, is being sued about some practice like that. Some of these communities are tough. If you borrow the money, you got to make money to pay it back. So.
Their case against McDonald's are the 52 minority or Black franchise owners and former franchise owners.
Some people don't know about this story.
So they have sued. They filed suit against McDonald's, alleging racism in the way that they place the restaurants and making it difficult for them to do the business that they need to do, and charging higher prices as well. So they have filed $1 billion+ lawsuit against McDonald's of these 52 Black franchise owners and former franchise owners.
Some people know. Some people don't know that McDonald's don't make their money off the sandwiches. they make their money off the land and renting that property
Right.
back to franchise.
And so what they do is they put the black franchise owners in some of the most challenging,
Yes, yes.
economically depressed areas, and so they have to pay higher insurance. They
Security.
have to, and they lose a lot, in terms of losses at their restaurants and what have you. And so they are
Well, wait a
alleging
second. You
racism.
mentioned McDonald's and all the other restaurants, they do it too. And what else we got to do? They put in the that's not fair. They treating. Well, I know there's a fact. Very seldom you see a Chick-fil-A in a black neighborhood. They have them in Atlanta, but most places you do not.
Oh, you know what? We are going to talk about that because John Murray sent me a story about the head of Chick-fil-A, and he has asked, and I gotta tell you, I was surprised at this, and I'm going to find it right quick. But as I'm looking for this, Myra J has given me a suggestion for my new show called Journalism and Jokes.
Journalism.
So
That's J and J. That's
I
J.
thank you. That's right, J and J. So John sent this to me yesterday, and he said the Chick-fil-A's owner, Dan Caffey, is asking white Christians to repent, fight for Black Americans in the wake of police shootings.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
My mic didn't work. I can't hear you. Say that, say that again.
That's right.
Kathy? Oh my God, something's going to happen here. What did he say, Sybil?
He asked white Christians to repent and to fight for Black Americans in the wake of police killings.
This is wonderful. That's
big. That's big, right?
Big. Yeah, that's right here in Atlanta. Oh my God, some good things are coming out of Atlanta. Next thing he has to do is open that goddamn place on Sunday.
He's obviously a very conservative man because he, and religious conservatism. Because as George said, he does not do business on Sunday. But the billionaire of the fast food chain Chick-fil-A is urging white Christians to take advantage of this special moment in American history right now to repent of racism and fight for their Black brothers and sisters in the wake of ongoing protests over the police killings of Rayshard Brooks and other Black Americans like George Floyd.
That's good, Chick-fil-A. Thank you so much, Chick-fil-A. That is so good.
So that's big. That's big. George, we're going to have a Memorial Day, a Labor Day weekend. You have any plans?
Yeah. I'll be sitting in the same chair Labor Day.
That you were Memorial Day and the 4th of July.
4th of July, I had something, my daughter and...
oh, that's right. They brought you food.
We went to my house. We went to my house.
Oh, that was your birthday where they delivered food.
Yeah, they delivered food. But 4th of July, we went to my house and in my driveway. My daughter and her husband ate at one table. My other daughter ate at a table, and I ate at a table. So we were all 6 feet apart, and all the food was made individually, and you got your own food. So we social distance, and it was actually wonderful. So what we might do is meet up at different places and eat in our cars.
Oh yeah, nice.
I'm pretty cautious. I don't let nobody in my house. Like I said, I know that was really nasty of me to be on the 25th floor waving at my daughter and tell her, hey, keep moving. This is as close as you're going to get.
You're funny. Well, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I love this time with you as always, and your stories taking us down memory lane are just priceless. I so appreciate that.
We're going to do that story about me and my lady friends in radio, ladies that help me through radio, Sparrow and Shayla out of New York City. And
I just want to give a shout out to Jean Sparrow. She's a good chick. She really is one of the best in the business.
Next week I might have a lot of money because I took a lot of Zantac. And I took a lot of baby powder. I used to use a lot of baby powder. And
George, don't play with that. Don't play with that, George. Don't play.
I was never a Boy Scout, but I'm trying to figure out how.
Oh my God. Okay, George, I'm going to let you go. And I want you to have a wonderful weekend. And
I'm going to get me some money somehow.
Okay.
Somebody. One call, that's all. No all in. And a rep, need a check. I'm going to call all these lawyers, okay? I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
And while we're doing this, hey to all the fellas and ladies at IJustGotHit.com. See you later, George. Have a good one.
Thank you so
Everybody,
much.
be careful, be safe, and we will see you here on Monday.
And that's my index finger.
Oh, God. Bye.